In a quaint little village, nestled between rolling hills and shimmering streams, there lived a boy named Eli. He was no taller than a sunflower stem, with tousled chestnut hair and bright, sparkling eyes that seemed to hold the entire sky within them. Though he was small in stature, Eli was renowned for his cleverness and bravery, qualities that would soon be put to the test. Eli lived in a modest cottage with his mother, a skilled seamstress, and his younger sister, Lila, who was as curious as a cat. Their father had passed away when they were very young, leaving the family with little more than memories and a few meager possessions. Despite their hardships, Eli's mother worked tirelessly to provide for them, sewing beautiful garments that brought joy to the villagers. However, as the seasons changed, so did their fortunes. A fierce drought struck the village, and with it came the loss of crops and the decline of business. The villagers grew anxious, and Eli could sense the worry etched on his mother's face. Determined to help his family, Eli decided that he would find a way to bring prosperity back to their home. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with hues of orange and purple, Eli sat on the edge of his bed, pondering his options. He remembered the stories his father used to tell him about a hidden treasure buried deep within the whispering woods, a place filled with ancient trees and secrets waiting to be uncovered. The tales had always seemed like mere fantasy, but now they ignited a spark of hope in Eli's heart. The next morning, with the dawn casting its golden light over the village, Eli donned his worn leather boots and set off toward the whispering woods. He felt a mixture of excitement and trepidation, but he was resolute. As he entered the woods, the air grew cooler, and the sound of rustling leaves surrounded him like a symphony. Eli navigated through the trees, his small frame moving deftly over roots and rocks, his keen eyes scanning the ground for any sign of the treasure. Hours passed, and just as Eli began to lose hope, he stumbled upon an old gnarled tree with a hollow at its base. Intrigued, he knelt down to inspect it. Inside, he found an ancient map, its edges frayed and the ink faded, but still legible. It depicted a series of landmarks that led to a spot marked with an X. Eli's heart raced with excitement. This could be the key to saving his family. With the map clutched tightly in his hand, Eli made his way deeper into the woods, following the directions carefully. He crossed babbling brooks, climbed over fallen logs, and even encountered a family of deer that watched him curiously before bounding away. As he ventured further, he faced his first real challenge. A steep ravine stood before him, its sides slick with moss and treacherous to navigate. Eli took a deep breath, recalling the stories of courage his father had shared. He spotted a series of rocks jutting out from the side of the ravine and carefully began to climb. Each step was a test of his resolve, but he focused on the thought of his mother and Lila waiting for him at home, their faces bright with hope. Once across the ravine, Eli continued on his journey, following the map's clues. The sun began to dip low in the sky, casting long shadows across the forest floor. Just as he was starting to feel weary, he reached a clearing where the ground was covered in vibrant wildflowers. In the center stood an ancient stone well, its surface worn smooth by time. Eli's heart raced. He was at the spot marked on the map. He approached the well cautiously and peered inside. The darkness seemed to swallow the light, but he could make out a glimmer at the bottom. Eli knew he had to retrieve whatever lay within. He rummaged through his pockets and found a length of sturdy vine. Tying one end to a heavy rock, he lowered it into the well, hoping to snag whatever treasure awaited him. After several attempts, he felt a tug and quickly pulled the rock back up. Attached to it was a small, ornate chest, its surface gleaming in the fading light. With trembling hands, Eli opened the chest. Inside, he found glimmering coins, sparkling gems, and a note written in elegant script. The note spoke of generosity and community, encouraging the finder to share their fortune with those in need. Eli's heart swelled with pride. He had not only found treasure, but a call to action. He knew what he had to do. With the chest secured, Eli made his way back through the woods, his spirit buoyed by the thought of how he would help his family and the villagers. Upon returning to the village, he gathered the townsfolk, sharing the treasure he had found. His mother Lila and the villagers listened in awe as he recounted his adventure, their eyes wide with disbelief and gratitude. Eli proposed that they use the treasure to buy seeds for planting, tools for farming, and to support the local businesses that had suffered during the drought. The villagers rallied behind him, inspired by his bravery and cleverness. Together, they worked to restore the village, planting new crops and rebuilding their community. As the seasons changed once more, the village flourished. Eli's family thrived, and laughter filled their home again. Eli had not only overcome the challenges he faced, but had also united the village, proving that even the tiniest among them could make a monumental difference. The boy who once felt small had become a beacon of hope, reminding everyone that courage and cleverness could conquer even the greatest of obstacles.